Guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to some more Royal Alchemist. I'm pretty excited to get started because last time we played we were about to fight Aurelius. So I'm really eager to see how this is going to turn out. Okay, so we are going to accept. I lay my hands on the hilt of the remaining sword. As I do so, I can feel Prince Aurelius's eyes on mine, watching me approvingly. Physical combat is not really my forte, but if that is the prince's fancy, then I am determined to give as good as an attempt as I can. Are you sure about this, Your Highness? A pleading note creeps into my voice as I make a last hopeless attempt to dissuade him. Yes. Enough talking. On guard. Okay. He's serious. He looks like completely different in this picture than he does in his normal character sprite. He looks really like he wants to kill me. That is all the warning I receive before Prince Aurelius lunges in a whirlwind of shining steel. Taken by surprise, I barely manage to bring my sword up in time to parry the incoming blows. Step by step, the prince forces me backwards, out of the pavilion and onto the meadow beyond. It quickly becomes clear that I do not stand a chance. Did that just say intelligence fail? Did I lose intelligence or did I fail because I'm stupid? Combat fail, oh my god. The sword feels leaden and unwieldy in my hands. Wow, we just got destroyed. Of course it does. I'm not trained to use it. I wonder if there's any possible way to beat him. I mean, we did train our combat in intelligence, so I feel like you lose no matter what. Soon, despite my frantic attempts to fend off the assault, my arms are aching from strain and barely capable of holding the blade upright. As for my legs, they feel as though the slightest breeze will cause them to buckle. What a disappointment. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I want to go back and see what happens if we decline now. I feel like he hates us even more. Prince Aurelius is toying with me, feinting here and there, making me wave my sword wildly all over the air while he is barely moving at all. Any moment now he will tire of this game and... Ah! A sudden blow by the prince wrenches the sword out of my grip, causing it to skid over the grass. Then there is a blur of movement. I stagger as something slams into me with brutal force. Did we just get murdered? The next thing I know, I'm lying flat on the grass, looking up at the blue sky and the white fluffy clouds, breathing heavily. And Prince Aurelius is holding his sword down against my neck, its half-sharpened tip pressing into my skin ever so delicately. From my position, I can see the prince's firm grip on his sword, and a coldness that seems to have been ingrained in his eyes, nothing that would fit a beauty such as him. A few loose strands of his hair gracefully trace the shape of his face, and the scent of western flowers envelops me once again. The prince hasn't even broken a sweat to defeat me. Wow, that was really embarrassing. I touched Prince Aurelius. Oh, rub it in, why don't you? Why are you doing this? Prince Aurelius pauses for a moment, thinking. For some reason, I don't expect him to give me a serious reply. I simply wish to take my measure of you. Harris helps me to my feet, brushing away the dirt and grass on my clothes. You may be my tutor, but you are so only by the grace of the regent. I have yet to determine for myself what your true worth is. Harris, show Rosencrantz back to her room. Aurelius looks away, apparently losing all interest in me. This way, please. What an asshole. He just like completely beat us up and then was like, okay, you can go now, you're worthless. Obediently, I allow him to lead me back into the palace. We make our way to the study side by side in silence. Here we are, Lady Rosencruz. If there's nothing else, I shall return to His Highness. A minute. What is it? Did you know? I beg your pardon? Did you know what Prince Aurelius had in mind when he brought me to the garden? Harris looks away, stroking his chin ruminatively. His Highness is right. If you want to survive and prosper in a place as interesting as the Fostrax Palace, you really should try to improve your swordplay. Why didn't I just use my magic and, like, explode him? I'm pretty sure we could have done that. He wouldn't stand a chance. If you're interested in learning the less salubrious little tricks of the art Marshal Garyon believes himself too honorable to impart, you can usually find me wandering the palace garden. You're offering to teach me? Evidently. My lips pursed on instinct. I get the feeling this man has been with Prince Aurelius for a long time. Even his speech resembles the prince's. Your reasons? Harris pauses to observe me before his eyes narrow and his lips tug into a mysterious smile. Self-interest, mainly. It'd be fun to see whether you can meet Prince Aurelius's expectations. I don't have to impress anyone. With that, he walks away, leaving me staring into space and stunned. I can't seem to understand the youngest prince, nor his servants. Peppermint can now take classes to learn leadership skills. Okay, I can understand the youngest prince. He's a jerk. Simple as that. Okay. I really want to go back and see what happens if we decline, but I'm not going to. Let's just continue. Alright, can I do any alchemy yet? Can we make that water? No, we still need 200 coins. Anything else? Nope, nope. Okay, so we still can't make anything, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and schedule our classes. Improve leadership. Okay, I care way more about leadership than beauty. We have quite a bit of etiquette. Our combat is 18. Like, our combat's pretty high. What is this one? This, like, people icon. We have 10. I wonder if that's just, like, social skills. Alright, I want to do combat, intelligence, and leadership. Or, actually, our combat's pretty high already, so maybe etiquette? Etiquette, intelligence, and leadership. Okay, I've made up my mind. And then, so I noticed when I was watching my video of the last episode that I had him studying light twice, which was not my intention. Nobody knows wind yet, so let's have him learn light, wind, and fire. And then, oh wait, Nazir does know a little bit of wind. Alright, I want them all to learn different things, I think. So, Aurelius is darkness, water, and wood. Nazir, darkness, wind, and fire. And then light, wind, or, okay, let's do light, water. No, this is so hard. Alright. I'm sticking with this. Still have no idea what I'm doing, but whatever. I'm going with it. Alright, start. Alright. I read actually on the Kickstarter page for this game that this demo goes to week 11. So we're now on week 3, so we still have a ways to go in this demo. It seems like it's going to be pretty long, which I'm happy about. I look at from my notes where I'd been scribbling new formulae. Okay, come in. The door to my study opens and a familiar figure emerges. Despite standing straight and still looking immaculate, I can't help but notice his slightly furrowed brows. Lady Rosencruz, my apologies for disturbing you. Not at all. Is something the matter? While His Excellency the Regent is aware you're still adjusting to life at court, he would like to request your aid in addressing certain complaints. Complaints? Raphael pauses a bit, clearly conflicted. In the days of the late king, Lady Rosencruz, he used to travel the lands to help the citizens with their needs. Natural disasters, beasts and bandits, plagues, all manner of things, really. Of course, the princes have been doing their best to keep up with their duties. However, during the past 12 moon cycles, I'm afraid more and more complaints have piled up. The regent requests you aid our princes in said duties, Lady Rosencruz. We are aware it might be a lot to... That's fine. Always the overachiever. While Raphael must be relieved at my approval, he also seems somewhat surprised. It is. I'm an alchemist of the High Council. While I was summoned here to tutor the princes, it's our foremost duty to help each country advance and prosper. I would be happy if my alchemy can be of even the slightest help. The Master of Coins smiles, and I find myself smiling back. I wonder why I got beauty for that. That seemed kind of random. Thank you, Lady Rosencruz. Whenever you need funding for your work, please don't hesitate to find me. Ooh, does he give us money? That'd be awesome. I will also be taking inventory and keeping track of each state's income. I hope the information will be of use for you. Missions are now available. Fulfilling them will increase different factions' approval and increase their weekly income. Wow, we have a lot to do. Okay, so now we can do missions. And then we also have access to the treasury, okay? The state's gold and income. Fostrax, the capital, Prince Saren's Thief? I've never seen that word. Alright, weekly income 20. Spellor, the forest village. And then Zelfloss, the mining town. So they each have their own little faction, I guess? That's interesting. Missions. Okay. Heavenly Beauty. Strange rumors have reached the palace of farmers, shutting themselves inside their house during the day and doing no work. Requirements, Saren, Light 10. Okay, great. So this is going to give us some guidance on what they need to learn. Thank goodness. So I can click start. So maybe he already meets the requirements. Let's see. Strange rumors have reached the palace, the farmers shutting themselves inside the day and doing no work, okay? They only ventured out past midnight, and reports of their activities suggested they were suffering from advanced stages of hallucinatory delusion. When challenged, these farmers claim they are looking for their most beautiful goddess. Are they all doing magic mushrooms or something? Having no desire to countenance the outbreak of a cult, the regent dispatched Prince Saren and I with a company of palace guards to investigate the problem. Upon reaching one of the infected villages, we found it eerily silent. The streets were empty, and the doors and windows of the houses locked, barred, and mothering in dust. Warily, we went up to one of the locked houses and knocked on the door. But the guard captain had to threaten to smash the door down before anyone inside would open it. The young farmer who opened the door seemed suspicious at first. After looking at me, he knelt down and began worshipping me. He claimed I was an emissary of the goddess and that my outward beauty proclaimed the inward goodness of my heart. It was embarrassing, but I can't say I didn't feel just the slightest bit flattered. I wouldn't be flattered by that. I'd be freaking terrified. Commoner approval. After examining several villagers, I discovered they had consumed crops infected from a tiny but virulent mushroom. Oh my god. I was just kidding about the magic mushrooms, but apparently I was apparently I was right. Okay, so the farmers or the villagers had been doing mushrooms that caused romantic hallucinations when ingested. I've never done magic mushrooms before. I was kidding, but that's actually hilarious. I was fortunately able to find the ingredients needed to make the antidote potions in the vicinity. If the farmers remember to boil the antidote in the middle of their crop fields at least 3 hours every day next week, the mushroom infection should soon be eliminated. Prince Saren was so happy with our work today, he very gallantly led me by hand to sit next to him at the high table during supper this evening. It caused quite a stir in the court. Alright, Fostrax's weekly income has increased. So that's interesting. I guess I met the requirements to do that mission. Just out of luck, I guess. I wonder if it would have let me do the mission if I didn't meet the requirements and I just would have failed. I don't know. Good day, my lady. Oh, it's Nazir. I'm excited to talk to him because we haven't seen much of him yet. A smile tugs at the edge of my mouth and I turn around with an elaborately formal bow. Good morning, Your Highness. Jolly ripping day, what? Oh, is he British? You have any plans for the afternoon? Just hanging out with you. As the royal tutor, I was under the impression I am obliged to conduct some royal tutoring. Amos, amas, amat, and all that, fascinating stuff. What? What? I'm happy you think so. I rather had the idea you thought the opposite, judging by the considerable difficulty I have in keeping you awake during lessons. Nazir at least has the grace to look sheepish, but not for long. I say, don't you think you deserve to have a little break from all that tutoring? How do you mean? I, for one, am planning to go traipsing around the kingdom this afternoon, and maybe the next one as well, and perhaps the one after that. And to the point, I wonder if there's any way I can persuade you into tagging along. If I'm not mistaken, you're due for a lesson with me here in the castle this afternoon, and maybe the next one as well, and perhaps the one after that. Oh, lessons, castles, afternoons. I'm just about stuffed to the gills with them. Why live in a cage? There's a beautiful world outside these walls of stone. The palace can hardly be called a cage, Your Highness. More like the lap of luxury, perhaps. Even a gilded cage is still a cage, my dear, and I'm absolutely determined to break out of mine this afternoon. Can't I convince you to do the same? You haven't seen much of Eskia outside the palace, have you? I pause and think. It's true that I haven't really had a chance to see much of the country, being busy with adjusting to court life and all the lessons. And despite my better judgment, I know my curiosity is just telling me to go out and see more. Nazir's grin turns mischievous, very well knowing I've taken the bait. Let me show you around. The meadows around Spello are covered in blossoms, snow white and cornflower blue beneath the azure summer sky. And Speller village itself, small maybe and quaint, but no less ancient, no less hallowed in the memory of Eskia than this very palace. Alright, this guy's pretty weird. And its tavern, where the meat is sweet and delicious, and its maidens so pretty and friendly, and above all discreet. Nazir's eyes gleam in delight as I see right through to his intentions. So, aren't you tempted? Slip out of your cage too, just for this afternoon. What harm can it do? I mean, yeah, we're gonna accept, like, Peppermint is super boring. Like, she needs to have some fun in her life. So, yes. Against my better judgment, I'm inclined to take you up on your offer. Splendid. Before I can react, Nazir has seized my hand and is leading me along the hallway towards his room. Just give me a minute or two to pack my things, and we'll be off. I know a little passageway not far from here, leading to a small, disused postern gate we can slip away from the palace through. No one talks like this. Like, I don't know. I wish that when they talked, they were just a little bit more. Like, I know they're princes and they're royalty and everything, but the way they talk is just so like poetic. It just, I don't know. It annoys me a little bit. Just like a pet peeve. No one needs to know how we've left, or when, or why, or even who. Oh, that was Raphael talking. Okay, we've been caught, like, before we even left. Turning a corner, Nazir skids to a halt before Raphael, who is suddenly looming in front of us, arms folded and frowning. Raphael, my dear chap, fancy seeing you here. Evidently you didn't. No, I admit it, your appearance took me quite by surprise. And my friend here too, eh? My mind races as I half try to hide behind Nazir in embarrassment. Just what have I been thinking? Getting caught sucking off as the royal tutor. Dare I ask what the plan of you... Okay. Read. Focus. I can read words. I can speak English. Dare I ask what the two of you are planning with the little passageway not far from your room, in the small disused postern gates? Ahem. We were discussing the state of security in the palace. And Nazir was just telling me how assassins could make use of these overlooked passages to slip into the palace and wreak havoc. Right, Your Highness? Right on, dear. Just the thing we were discussing. Nice save. Raphael says in a tone of grudging respect, and my lips pursed. In that case, I shall note your concern and assign guards to patrol the postern gate as soon as personnel become available. Oh. I promise you no one will be able to slip in from that gate without half the palace knowing. Or out, either. Come on, like, he's a prince. He should be able to do what he wants. Let him have some fun. Damn and blast. I mean, jolly good. I thoroughly approve. Prince Nazir gives Raphael a look of thorough approval. If I have set your minds at rest, might you two be so good as to return to your duties, being tutored and... Raphael glances at me and raises an eyebrow ever so slightly. Tutoring. Certainly. I reply, much abashed. No, wait. Oh dear. I just remembered I left an item of considerable value by the postern. Your Highness will be so good as to allow his servant to retrieve it. I'm afraid I can't. That item is deeply sentimental to me, you see, and I would loathe to let anyone else look upon it. I take it I'll be right back. Quick as a breeze, he slips past Raphael, disappearing rapidly up the stairs in the direction of his room. Good day, Your Highness. Raphael sighs and turns to me. You shouldn't be influenced so easily, you know. Sorry, it's just, well, Nazir. Yes, he has that effect on some people. Raphael smiles and pats my shoulder consolingly. Back to Amos, Amas, Amat, and all that, eh? Alright, to Google. What does that mean? Okay, it's Latin. And let's see. I love, you love, he, she, it loves. Okay, still don't understand, but sure. Fascinating stuff. Feeling very much chastened, I hurry back to my study to prepare for the afternoon's lessons, my face a bright and burning crimson. We can now take classes to raise charisma. Hmm. I'm sad. I really wanted to hang out with Nazir. I hope we're not stuck in the castle forever. Like, I don't know. I'm like bored of the castle. I want to go hang out. Alright, so the episode is almost over, but first, let's take a look. Ooh, okay, Aurelius can synthesize the water now. Anything else? Just take a quick look. Okay. Um, should we go ahead? Before we do that, let's look at our missions. Looks like we don't have any missions right now. Okay. So let's create that water. Crafting successful. New missions are available. All right, cool. So it looks like we have to craft things to advance the story and make unlock new missions. So that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and save the game, and we're gonna end the episode there. So at the moment, I think my favorite guy is probably not Aurelius anymore. I don't know, like, I don't mind when guys in these kinds of games are kind of like jerkish, like it can be attractive, but that was a little far. Like, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So maybe we'll go after the other two guys next time. But that'll have to wait until next episode. So if you guys enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.